Hello there. I was going to take a closer look at this collection of Alfred Hitchcock's 14 masterpieces. It's presented in a really nice packaging here. It says 14 masterpieces by Alfred Hitchcock, the master of suspense. Let's take a look. Presented in book fashion. Each movie, each film has its own page dedicated to it. Let's open it up and see what we've got. Oh, we're starting way back in 1942. Saboteur. Priscilla Lane and Robert Cummings. This says, right now they're probably haggling over the price for us with Murder Incorporated. Bonus features. Saboteur, a closer look. Storyboards, the Statue of Liberty sequence. Oh, that's a great sequence with Norman Lloyd. He climbs to the very top. Oh no, I can't tell you. I can't tell you. No, that will ruin it. You should watch. You should watch. 1942. It's got this little sleeve here where the Bluray tucked away in there. It's very nice. So, let's see what's next. 1943. Wow, only a year later. Shadow of a Doubt, Joseph Cotton. This one's a really fun one. It's one of my favorites. Uncle Charlie, Little Charlie. Let's see here. I have a feeling that inside you there's something nobody knows about, something secret and wonderful. I'll find it out. That was young Charlie. I don't know if it ended up being wonderful, but she sure found out, didn't she? Let's see here. Hitchcock moved to Hollywood in 1939, so he had a whole career before he even started making these 14 masterpieces. And that was in Britain. Let's go to the next one here. 1948. Rope. Oh, this one. This is a great psychological suspense thriller. Nothing ever held you like Alfred Hitchcock's Rope. Bonus features. Rope. Unleashed. Production photographs, theatrical trailer. Looks like there's a little synopsis here. Let's read this. Two friends strangle a classmate and then hold a party for their victim's family and friends while their former teacher, James Stewart, right here, becomes increasingly suspicious that his students have turned his intellectual theories into brutal reality. Oh, that's very disturbing. Let's see here. Next we have my favorite Hitchcock film, 1954's Rear Window. Yes, Grace Kelly, Thelma Ritter, James Stewart. This one was fantastic. This one had one of Hitchcock's favorite MacGuffins. Well, I don't know if it was his, but one of my favorite MacGuffins, which was, what happens across the way? Did that man murder his wife or not? And our main character here, he gets so very caught up in that, becomes quite the voyeur. Let's see here. Why would a man leave his apartment 3 times on a rainy night with a suitcase and come back 3 times? Very suspicious indeed. And Hitchcock, he liked also to have cameo appearances in his films. So whenever you watch one, you've got to keep an eye out. He's always there. Oh, this one. This was a black comedy. Hitchcock really liked this film of his. It's rather different from many of his others, though. 1955's The Trouble with Harry. He looked exactly the same when he was alive, only he was vertical. I think that does sum it up pretty well. This is Harry. You can see his feet here, stocking feet. The unexpected from Hitchcock, I think that was because it was really pretty funny. Most of Hitchcock's films had some comedy in them, but this was mostly comedy. Let's see here. 1956. The Man Who Knew Too Much. James Stewart, Doris Day. This was one of Hitchcock's movies that he remade of his own earlier movie, so that was kind of interesting to me. It is a fun one, though. You have Doris Day as a mother who quit her career to be a mother and maybe is struggling with some of those issues, and they have a child and they're on vacation in Marrakesh and things go wrong. And we have the ambassador saying, "You have muddled everything from the start. Taking that child with you from Marrakesh, don't you realize that Americans dislike having their children stolen?" That's really funny, actually. I would imagine that most people dislike having their children stolen, but somewhat of Hitchcock's sense of humor, I suppose. Let's see here. Let's go to the next one. Oh, this is a classic. Fabulous film. 1958's Vertigo. James Stewart, yet again James Stewart, and Kim Novak appearing. Let's see here. Anyone could become obsessed with the past, with a background like that. James Stewart plays Detective John Scotty Ferguson, and Kim Novak is his love interest, I guess. A dizzying web of mistaken identity, passion, and murder, involving an acrophic detective. Acrophobic detective, and the mysterious blonde he rescued from San Francisco Bay. Let's see here, there's even some bonus features. The Vertigo archives, Hitchcock and Truffaut interview excerpts. I bet that's really interesting. I haven't seen those ones yet. Let's take a look at what's next. Oh, Psycho. I'm sure many people remember this one. I think it prevented a lot of people from getting back in the shower for a while after they saw it. 1960s Psycho. Anthony Perkins, Vera Miles, Janet Leigh, Marion Crane, Janet Leigh as Marion Crane. One of Norman Bates' famous lines here, "We all go a little mad sometimes." Isn't that true? Alfred Hitchcock's wife, Alma, worked with him a lot on a lot of his films, and rumor has it she introduced the book of Psycho to Hitchcock, and also may have convinced him that Bernard Herrmann would be perfect for the score. And it certainly was a chilling score, so whether she convinced him of that or not, I don't know, but he was a spot-on pick. Let's see here, what's next? Oh, The Birds, 1963. We have Rod Taylor, Jessica Tandy, Suzanne Plachette, and of course, Tippi Hedren. Tippi, this was her first film with Hitchcock, and I think her first film as an actress. He had seen her in a vacuum cleaner commercial on TV and just really liked her look, so he brought her in to read for the part. This one was a pretty frightening film. The birds would not relent. Rod Taylor and Tippi Hedren star in this horrific tale of nature gone berserk, when thousands of birds flock into a seaside town and terrorize the residents in a series of deadly attacks. That small seaside town, the natives there, the residents, thought that Tippi brought the birds, the plague of the birds, on them. They didn't like her. They didn't want her to stay. This is a great one. 1964. Marnie, a suspenseful sexual mystery. It's a pretty bold film here, this one from Hitchcock. Tippi Hedren again. Stars as Marnie, a compulsive liar and thief who winds up marrying the very man she attempts to rob in this psychological thriller that races to an inescapable conclusion. And here we have Mr. Sean Connery. And now we jump forward a couple of years to Torn Curtain. This here, it says it tears you apart with suspense. Paul Newman and Julie Andrews star in this action-packed thriller about a world-famous scientist who goes undercover to get top-secret information and ends up running for his life from enemy agents. Oh, very suspenseful. And next we have Topaz. This one, Hitchcock takes you behind the actual headlines to expose the most explosive spy scandal of the century. This one has, who is in this? Let's see. Frederick Stafford, Danny Robin, John Vernon, Karen Dorr. Well, he's gone away from some of his standard stars. That's interesting. Let's see, let's jump to the next here. 1972's Frenzy. This one's a very disturbing film. A deadly new twist from the original Hitchcock. Let's read this here. It says, "Do I look like a sex murderer to you? Can you imagine me creeping around London, strangling all those women with ties? That's ridiculous. For a start, I only own 2. Oh, you must have a little comedy in there, dealing with such serious subject matter. Hitchcock liked to inject some levity. And what's next here? Oh, here we go. 1967's Family Plot. This one was Hitchcock's last film. It says, "From the devious mind of Alfred Hitchcock, a diabolically entertaining motion picture. Isn't it touching how a perfect murder has kept our friendship alive all these years?" Well, that's pretty disturbing. I haven't seen this one yet. This one is on my list to see. It has a few bonus features I'll have to check out. It says, "Chaos ensues in the suspense comedy when a phony psychic and her not-so-bright boyfriend cross paths with a slick diamond merchant and his beautiful girlfriend." That must be her. Let's see, what's at the end here? Oh, it is the end. Well, what do you know? Got clips from all of the films, various clips. And of course, something Hitchcock loved to do, always make the audience suffer as much as possible. Master of suspense, loved to do that. You know, despite all these masterpieces that Hitchcock did, and this is only a small collection, he never did win an Oscar. He was nominated 5 times, but it eluded him. Finally, I think it was pretty late in his career, really toward the end, when he was awarded a Lifetime Achievement Oscar. And he's famously known for giving one of the shortest Oscar speeches ever given. It had only 5 words. And it was, "Thank you. Thank you very much indeed." Well, there we have it. I'll leave it at that.